you ever look at the news? Maybe you've got a tablet or a phone and you go on one of your news apps and you think, God, the news is a little bit depressing at the moment. Maybe complain that the only thing you ever see is bad news. Well, one production here in Liverpool is doing its best to change that. It's called Good News Liverpool. It's a newspaper, and it's online and it's in print as well, which aims to celebrate the good news around Liverpool. Rebecca Keegan is from Good News Liverpool and joins me in the studio now. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing?
Morning.
Yeah.
I'm fine, thanks, apart from a little cough.
Well, that's not good
okay.
news, is it?
No, it's not.
That's
not for
not
the
good
radio.
News. I've got a copy of the paper actually in front of me now. I didn't realise you've actually gone to print, which in itself, I suppose, is quite unusual in this day and age, because newspaper reading is meant to be on the wane. So what made you do this?
Well, I mean, I come from newspapers. I trained as a journalist and qualified 10 years ago. And went straight into newspapers, which was fantastic. And then it was a couple of years ago I realised that I'm sick of reading bad news. I was sick of writing bad news. So I thought, well, why not challenge it? Let's have a little look at, what the trends are out there. And people are saying, we're sick of seeing it all the time, a bit depressed, and it's not good for Liverpool. It's city worldwide, actually. It's, we're scared of the world. So why not look for those good news stories? So I did a bit of research, spoke to a lot of people, and then we got a lot of great stories from people in Liverpool. It's amazing. For every bad news story out there, there's 20 good news stories. So why aren't we putting them on the front page and celebrating this, the city and the good stuff that's happening?
I'm sure that a lot of newspaper sort of manufacturers and publishers would say, but bad news sells.
Yeah.
Was that what you found when you were in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, it does. Bad news does sell. And, that's because, in my opinion, good news is priceless. And we give Good News Liverpool away. You don't pay for it. It's pick up across the city, not just city centre. And we go over Merseyside, and I'm always looking for more places for people to pick the newspaper up. So if anyone's got a pub or a nursing home or a school or anything where there's footfall, I will get these newspapers to you.
For example, the edition I've got, this is this month.
Yeah.
Liverpool is proving to be the real northern powerhouse as new figures show it's leading the UK in the number of business startups. So that's your front page, Rebecca. Are you just trying to give the city a boost? Is that the kind of idea behind it? Because we can't ignore the fact that bad things do go on in the city as well as lots of good things, can we?
No, it would be ignorant to ignore the bad things going on, and I think that it's up to us to find out about what's happening and things. Why ignore the good things happening as well, though? People have too much emphasis on bad news all the time, and it's people say to me it's a British thing. We like a little miserable story, but actually, since Good News Liverpool's launched, people can't stop telling me good news. I'm in a good mood all the time because every single day I get to write about good stuff.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
What's the criteria then for stories to make it in? If someone comes to you with a story or you find a story, what are you assessing?
We don't assess it at all. This is not a newspaper which is solely for small businesses or community groups or independents, or this is for everybody. So whether you've got, a great big news story about a multi-million-pound development, or you've got some award-winning bees in the Wirral, I want to know about it. So just email us and tell us about it, because we want to make sure that we're telling everyone else these good news stories.
And what feedback have you had from readers then?
It's been phenomenal. The impact of the newspaper has surpassed my expectations. And right now we're printing 10,000 a month, and I can't print enough to reach the demands, which is a brilliant position to be in. And it's had some really good support from businesses advertising. So that's been able to keep the product going and for us to keep it free and keep it getting out there.
Yeah, I would imagine that if the response is so good, you could even look to, becoming more frequent, because you said it was bi-monthly.
It was initially bi-monthly, and now it's monthly.
Would you ever consider, trying to churn out more than one a month?
It's
That's
quite
bad news for you, isn't it?
now. Yeah. Actually, our next step in the business plan is to go monthly in another city. So to look at another northern city for a good news newspaper, because other cities, I've spoken to people from other cities and they've said, this is brilliant, we want this in, Manchester or Leeds. So that's our next step, is to try and look at basically cheering the country up with good news newspapers.
And I mean, is this really seen as a accompaniment to another newspaper, in terms of we need to hear what's going on in the world, don't we? And some of that is bad, but then maybe if you want a bit of better news, you'd pick up your paper.
Yeah, it's an addition. It's not, scrap, reading your usual daily newspaper and just pick this up. That would be, like I said, it'd be ignorant to ignore mainstream news that's happening. But this is just something else, just an addition to that to pick up every month and have a look at.
And I noticed that Simon Bowers, who does a lot with us here on Drive Time on BBC Radio Merseyside, he's our Drive Time doctor. Yeah. He's got a column,
he has, he has got a column, a brilliant column, actually. It's really popular. We spoke to Simon a year ago initially when we were ready to try and get this newspaper out there, and Simon obviously is from the Liverpool CCG, which drew Healthy Liverpool and this massive campaign which I know Radio Merseyside are involved with as well, and they were one of our backers. They said we'll back this, we believe in it, we think it's great, and they have been amazing, and they see this as well as a good vehicle to get their positive key messages out there.
Yeah, he's saying don't trust Dr. Google. I think we should all refrain from Googling any ailments, shouldn't we? Most
definitely. Yeah.
And if people want to get in touch with their good news stories, how can they do that then, Rebecca?
They can email us at editorial@goodnewsliverpool.co.uk. Go on the website, all the details are there, goodnewsliverpool.co.uk, and the website is updated hourly as well with good news. So if you just need a little fix, go on there. We're on Twitter, Good News Liverpool, Facebook, Good News Liverpool. Just, get in touch and find us.
How many people are working on this with you?
There's me, and I have got one member of staff, Andy, who's brilliant. He works 3 days a week, and I have some brilliant freelancers.
Really?
Great support network.
But it's hard work for you then, this.
Yeah, it is hard work, but it's a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's all good.
It's all good.
And there's lots of places in town as well that have got the paper.
Yeah, there are. So, if you were in town and you walk up Bold Street, you're really likely to find it there. From April, we're going to be in the train stations, which is really exciting. Waterstones in Liverpool, have got the newspaper. And the likes of Allerton Road, Smithdown Road, we're trying to get out of the city as much as we can. So, like I said, if anyone anywhere wants this newspaper, I'll get the bundles dropped off. And
you give it away for free. Yeah. Is that the way to go, do you think, with newspapers nowadays? We've just seen a new newspaper released only last week, The New Day, but they're going to charge for that one. But do you think people don't want to pay for their news anymore because generally they don't have to?
Well, I mean, the thing is, the internet is so open and you can find everything else at the touch of a button these days, and we all know that, but I do think that there is still that market there for print media. A lot of people do still like it, and there's something special about being in print newspaper, probably because it's a declining medium. So yeah, a lot of news is going free. We hear about some nationals closing. We've got another national launched. It's just hard to tell what's going to happen. Yeah. But right now, all I know is I'm printing 10,000 newspapers a month. I've got none left over. People really like it. The website does well. And as long as that's the case, then I'm going to keep printing. Well, good luck with it. Thanks for bringing me a copy. I shall have a read of that after the programme, and see you soon again, Rebecca. Thank you very much. Cheers.